Good Lord, it's hot in here.
Boy, it's warm. Unfortunately, today we are missing the thigh of this program.
With her thighs.
Portia King is not here with us, but we miss you. No, it's not here today is what I'm saying. She is fine. She's just not here in the studio.
It did get real sad. I was like, yo.
I'm just saying, man.
Like, they did say Def come in threes. Tentacion, Joe Jackson, and Portia. Goddamn.
Somebody sent a text to her right quick just because we didn't put some bad shit in the air.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're only, I guess, about 24 hours removed from Drake Day. We've got plenty to discuss.
Yeah.
There's free agency in the league. We're going to get into some of that. Obviously, we'll talk Drake's album.
Go ahead. We got to hop into some of these deaths, too, because we ain't been here since Jimmy Wapo or Tentacion or Joe Jackson has been dead.
True. Joe Jackson did die.
We got to hop into this trash-ass Tiana Taylor album.
Man, that is just blasphemous.
Yeah, that's going to be where me and Jamal split today because I don't think it was trash.
Right now. Also, as far as terrible news goes, the Capital Gazette in Maryland, there was a shooting there. 5 people passed. This is sort of...
they need some type of award for, like, newsroom of the year or some shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, they put out a newspaper the day afterwards, like covering their own shooting.
That's crazy,
awful and nuts.
You shoot at me, I'm not coming in to work for a week.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think that's the general sort of sentiment. It's like, okay, let me not be at work today. But shout out to those guys. Those are, I mean, obviously brave, courageous journalists, and we want to discuss that as well. But I think we'll start with
Aubrey and his Angels.
We discussed this a little bit in the car, man. Out of 10, what are you giving Drake's album?
A cool 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah, 6.5.
Okay. So
you?
Here's 7. I'm going 7.
So you ain't too far off.
Yeah, I'm going 7. The thing is I think this is like a bigger discussion as far as albums are concerned now. Do you get credit for having a classic album or a good album at least inside of a big, huge, unnecessarily long-ass album? Because as many people have said, if you made Drake's album like 10 songs, 12 songs, it's good. But at 25, A-side or B-side regardless, it's too long and
it's too much.
It's too much. It's just not quite there.
It's weird for me because I am a Drake stan.
Okay. I did not know that. I did not.
And it's not even from like a rapping
Drake stan.
Not even from a rapping ability. He's just like a cool ass dude that can rap decent, got hits, can get all the women in the world, got a lot of money, and kick it and have fun.
Right.
So that's where my stand has come from. It don't come from like a same level of how I stand for like Jay-Z.
Okay.
But
there's a different level of standness.
There's a different type of standness, yeah. It's like there's a guy that you always want to hang out with. That's like Drake. Like I'd hang out with Drake. He could be my best friend any day.
Right. As opposed to Jay-Z where it's like
no, I hang out with Hove too, but Drake is like in my age bracket. Drake still would go to the club. He trying to go to the booty club. Like clearly he's shooting up strippers clubs and shit. So like that type
that's
of fun.
Unnecessary.
But with
shout out to Adadion.
But with that shit, it was hard. It was a lot of tracks, man.
It's a bunch of songs.
It was a lot of songs. It was like too many.
It's entirely too many songs.
It was too many.
And I get the whole A-side, B-side, but it also, at a point, I thought that there was going, the talk was that one side's a rap side, the other's an R&B side.
And then Nice for What was on the other side.
Yeah. But it's not quite that either. Also, he needs to mend things with Rihanna, because that's like a guaranteed hit every album, and it's notably missing. Like, I didn't realize that I needed and expected that, like, I don't know, island sound from him on his albums, and like not having Rihanna on the album is just kind of sucks, if I'm being honest.
Okay, so wait, I have to throw this out here. With that said, do you think he delivered enough to recover, make up, or make us forget about the beef?
Okay, so being a Houstonian, I take Jay Prince at his word, like partly out of respect, partly out of concern, like for me and my family. Like if Jay Prince says that there was a track and that shit was disrespectful to a violent extent, like I believe that. I mean, I don't know. He just don't strike me as the kind of cat who would lie. Now, maybe he's talking it up. Maybe it's not quite as hard as people think, as he thought. But I definitely think there was a diss track in the works that could have been put out, in my opinion. Maybe it wasn't recorded. Maybe the beat was trash. Like, who knows? But if Jay Prince say there was that Aubrey Graham knew some shit that he could have put out, I believe that Aubrey Graham knew some shit.
So when he said that, everybody thought it was about Pusha, but like the other day, then he said that it was about Kanye. Mm-hmm. So I think it's almost better that he didn't even do it, because it's looking like you can't beat the big boss, so you're going to beat up on the guy who's not going to like defend himself. Yeah.
I mean, Pusha's the one who put out the track. Pusha's the one that should like get the response. Mm-hmm. But I also think Pusha did come out fucking 40 though. I mean, Pusha's track was disrespectful in several ways.
It was.
This shit was not okay. But as far as rap beefs go, I think Pusha took it to a place that old rap beefs would go to, and I don't know if Drake was really ready for that. Like, it's real easy to make fun of Meek Mill for like being with a chick who make more money than him, but he outed this man's child. Like, that's not, and talked about his like longtime producer and friend for having multiple sclerosis. Like, that's just not, that's a place that I think rap beefs were, and it's not no more.
Okay, so my next question for you with that is, do you think he addressed the rumors and stuff about his son too much?
No, I thought an appropriate amount. Okay. I mean,
because there's a bar in there where he refers to himself as Dada.
Yeah.
I thought that was very, like, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he literally said like, you can call me Dada, like talking about his son, and I was like,
it's like that wasn't it, dog.
Yeah, that wasn't it, dog. Yeah, that wasn't.
I'm not mad at that. I also think though, like, I think the idea of Drake, who handed out all this money to kids in Miami and, is like, makes these inspirational songs for black women and all that, like, that guy to also be accused of being a deadbeat dad, you got to come out strong and sort of like explain yourself. Like, I think Drake has made a career out of being the good guy, like the sensitive guy, I'm not, your typical rapper guy. Like, I feel like that's partly how he keeps his fan base, is like, making songs like Nice for What or whatever, or Fancy or whatever. Like, that's like part of his thing. And for him to have this kid that he's supposedly not taking care of, like, you gotta address that in a few different ways, I think. Like, that's a big deal. That's kind of wild, man. Like, I remember hearing that song and being like, yeah, I know he talked about 40, but he's got a child, though?
Well, let's look at it this way. Does that technically make Pusha T's statement a lie? Because he claimed he didn't take care of him, but he does.
Well, I mean, he also said, like...
Okay, so my next question to not acknowledging.
Yeah.
So the next thing to not acknowledge and hiding a child, is it really for us to know?
What?
That he has a child.
No, it's not. It's not, but Pusha dead at all that. Like, that's the thing. Like, that shit was over the line. Like, Pusha's response, like, was over the line in many ways. Like, that shit's more than rap. And I feel like you kind of have to, in Drake's position now, if you're not going to come out with some real crazy ass, like, dirt on Pusha, then you got to address the fact that he called you a deadbeat dad. Like, and I thought it was an appropriate way to do so. Like, the whole line is going to get quoted way too often at this point, but I thought the idea...
Like your man, B-Wash, who made You're Hiding a Child his name on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Shout out to B-Wash.
right. I feel like it's gonna get quoted way too much, and it's gonna become like gimmicky and shit. But it's a reasonable response. I don't think anybody hears that and goes, "Oh, that's bullshit." Like I think it's a reasonable.
You know what I really
thing
enjoyed
to say.
about Scorpion, and almost more than the music,
What?
was Drake showing us how much he reads the internet.
He does. But I mean that's a lot of people though, dog. Like
Yeah.
I'm genuinely surprised at how much into the internet culture Jay-Z is. And
Especially when he talked about like his legs jumping in the pool and how they were
Yeah,
skinny.
like-
But like no, but with Drake it was different because just the things that he picked up. So like of course, you know, the full letter, the dissertation that he wrote in the little editor's note of the Apple Music section.
Yeah.
But also just like when you're listening to it, and then it's like even when the part where he was talking about women and going on vacation and taking pictures, it's like how much of the timeline do you look at to notice the pattern of women?
Yeah.
And then outside of that, then it was like, I mean that too. But then
Damn,
like,
Jake.
and then you had like the clips. But like then you have the clips that they use. Like he used the clip from Mari to where like I guess somebody's baby that wasn't his looked like him, and he caught that clip and used it.
Yeah.
Or the clip from Plies where he was saying he don't have to undress you. He used that. Or something that Nicki said randomly. He used that. But then also to the point to where he's like paying attention to the climate of the game so much
Yeah.
that he knows about City Girls.
Dog.
Or he knows about Flip De Niro.
One of the weirdest things to me about Drake and his rap career is that Drake has been slighted by somebody, some woman, some other rapper, all these like label producers, whatever. Like he finds somebody to be slighted by for every album.
Everything.
Like it's crazy to me. Like at some
He doesn't
point,
forget shit.
yeah, like I don't know if he's just one of them people that takes things wrong like all the time. But I could not make an entire album. I couldn't make a whole song, much less an entire album about like people that had done me wrong, people that underestimated me.
It's the power of the
being,
petty
like,
light
how
skin.
bitter about this stuff that you are.
That's facts.
That's true.
I mean, but with that said, I kind of feel Drake because even working in the entertainment industry, I remember everything. So with that said, in a position that I have now, I'm not going to say which one.
Right.
One of my employees was an
Don't
employee
get
for
fired.
me at an old spot. And she was rude to me and my partner at the old spot. So I come over to the new spot and I see her shit and I'm like, you back, huh?
That's true.
So like that, or like even one of my old employers, like I'm gonna get her ass one day.
Yeah.
She gonna catch these bars in an indirect way one day.
I don't disagree. I mean, I think Ryan makes a good point. Like the amount of people that he is interacting with is on another level. The intentions of the people he's interacting with can't be known because of who he is, and that's just sort of a fame thing.
Hey Jake, don't you want to pass me a
But-
Blue Moon and beer?
But I feel like the same way that like like Push and Jeezy rap about drugs, Drake raps about people who done slighted him in one way or another. Like, and it's crazy to think that he's made a career out of that for so long. I just think that's like a lot.
I
But
understand.
I mean, it works for the man. I can't be mad.
Thank you, sir.
Now, there's 25 songs on this mug. What's the first cut? Like,
What song am I getting rid of?
what's the first cut? 5 off jump.
I'm gonna tell. Okay, look.
What's the first 5?
The very first one I'm cutting is Ratchet Happy Birthday.
Yes.
That was the most disappointing
Yes.
Drake song I ever heard in my life.
What's the best birthday song? What's the best birthday rap song?
Um,
Oh shit, appreciate it.
um,
Oh, you got 15 already? All right.
Oh, I got 15 too, so I want to see if your 15 match my 15. The best birthday song that I have, by default, is 50 Cent's In the Club. But with that said, for the purpose that I like birthday songs for women to shake their ass. in reference to that, then Titty and Kanye got it.
Yeah. I think they have that shit by a mile.
With that said,
is the best rap birthday song of all time.
With that said, when I looked at Scorpion and I saw Ratchet Happy Birthday, I expected for ass to be shaking, sparklers to be coming, bottles to be popping, women in heels. I was ready for all of that.
Ratchet Happy
Birthday. And then I heard it,
and
it sounded like a Willie Nelson show.
Ratchet Happy Birthday will never get played like as the bottles approach a table. Like that's just never gonna happen.
So yeah, I'm cutting Ratchet Happy Birthday. I am also cutting damn, what else am I cutting off of here? I'm gonna get rid of Summer Games.
Okay.
I'm getting rid of Don't Matter to Me because it sounds like very bad Michael Jackson vocals. It sounded like they had some. Don't Matter to Me, but it kind of sounded like they had some vocals in the garage. They got rained on, and they was like, yeah.
It seemed like
it's cool.
It seemed like some like underground Michael Jackson shit, which is like cold.
All right, I get y'all that. I'm getting rid of Elevate.
I'm fine with that.
And then shit, and maybe like Peak. That's probably the 5 I'm getting rid of.
Okay.
Like my favorites, I can tell you, like I fuck with Finesse hard.
Finesse is good.
Ain't nothing better than Emotionless because that fucking Mariah sample is nuts.
Emotionless is tight.
I
actually really think like Drake picked some of the best ones to be his singles too. Like God's Plan is tough. Yeah. Nice for What is tough.
I'm upset just knocks in the car.
Yeah, like I just feel like the singles he picked singles that like are good. I feel like you got to leave some heat for the album.
But even with that, still that's the problem. I don't know what will be the next single.
Nonstop is the next single.
Nah, I'm gonna give you what the next single is. If you left it up to me, it's After Dark.
Okay.
I'm getting After Dark for that Ty Dolla wave, putting a sexy ass video together.
Shout out to Ty Dolla $ign.
Have I not been telling y'all Ty Dolla was the coldest nigga ever?
Ty Dolla $ign is having the same kind of year that 2 Chainz had when like Mercy came out and right after he did True Religion. Right. Like it's the same kind of year. Like Ty Dolla $ign's been on all the major projects.
And I've been I'm one of them people I'm one of them people that hate when an artist get real hot and popular and then they fans be like, well, where were you day one? This and this. I am that for Ty Dolla $ign.
You're that guy.
I am. Where were you for Beach House 2, Beach House EP? Where were you for Sign Language, Free TC, Campaign? Y'all just getting on Beach House 3. Yeah, Let's not do that.
Free TC I fucked with. Free TC is tough.
Dog, Ratchet in my Benz is the reason that I have a Benz. Campaign is my shit too. The run on Campaign from the song right after Migos to My Pussy is the fire shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
But Ty Dolla is the GOAT. But with that said,
definitely making moves this year.
Drake put in a good effort.
Phone again, bro.
Drake put in I want to hear Ryan's like slim down album compared to mine.
Executive producer boss Ryan has his 15 songs. This is what shoulda came out. Starting at number 1, we've got Nonstop. Then straight from there, Emotionless. Both of those have stars next to them, which I assume means something important.
Oh, yeah, you're a Spotify user. So when they got stars next to them on Apple Music, they just play it a lot by people who listen to the shit.
I didn't know. Next up is God's Plan. I'm Upset. So you kept I'm Upset. Kept I'm Upset. All right.
It's real catchy. That's all he did. I'm upset. He don't even know the words. Yeah, there you go.
So I'm Upset stays. 8 out of 10. Sandra's Rose. I see a lot of people talking about Sandra's Rose. Is that shit cold?
I feel a way about it. That's why I feel a way about it, because I feel like it was a weak premiere beat.
Okay. All right. Sandra's Rose. Talk Up, which I'm going to just say this right quick. Jay-Z's verse is my favorite thing on Drake's album, which is weird, but I swear to God it is. It's my favorite thing on the entire album. Yeah, like, it's just like that was.
Name someone rapping better than Hove right now.
Like, when is that man gonna fall off? So, Talk Up, Is There More, Jaded, Nice for What, That's How You Feel, Blue Tint, In My Feelings. Blue Tint is called. Don't Matter to Me, After Dark.
So mine is completely different.
Okay, so and you did put these out of order. You took some and like these aren't in the order that's on the album.
No, it is. It's just not the songs that I didn't add. I just added the ones, but the first song would have been.
Oh, okay. So you just cut stuff out and then left it where it was. Okay, got you.
So for me,
Yeah, my bad.
I start with Nonstop.
Definitely.
Then I got Emotionless. I got God's Plan. I got 8 out of 10. I kept Can't Take a Joke.
I didn't know what the fuck he was talking
And then I got Sandra's Rose. I got Talk Up. And then I have Jaded, Nice for What. I brought In My Feelings up to be behind Nice for What to keep the New Orleans bounce going. Then I have Finesse, Blue Tint, After Dark, and March 14th.
Okay, so you kept March 14th.
I did.
Oh, so you actually playlisted it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was asking. That's what I was asking.
Now, these are just the ones I like.
Yeah. So the thing is there's two things that I feel like Drake doesn't do as well that he used to. Is one, intros, and
I
two, outros. Like, like I just feel like one of my favorite things about Drake albums used to be the first song of the album and like the sort of freestyle in Dallas airport or whatever the hell. Like I just felt like those were sort of calling cards of Drake's career. Then I don't know if he sort of kept that up.
Especially
I wish he would go back to that.
Tuscan Leather. When he led with Tuscan Leather, that was hard. With that said, for Drake, I would have loved just to send off everybody and talk about just life. If we would have got like a 3 p.m. in Montana.
Yeah.
I'd have like, yo, this shit would have been fire.
Yeah,
even if
I would have been okay with him putting Emotionless last.
Or
like,
even
that
if
could have been the last
it
song
could
of
have
the
been
album for me, and I'd have been cool with that.
Or because he has a staple of grabbing a really heavy soul sample and just flowing and not having a hook, not having a hook. Like Western Road flows,
30 for
like
30
Views.
freestyle was decent.
Yeah.
Like,
but with him, I would say that I would have lived with it even if he renamed March 14th to one of the something in here, because he also raps about in March 14th how he finds out in Miami. So it's like, why didn't you name it 3 a.m. in Miami or whatever the case would be? But within that as well, something else that a lot of people don't pick up is in the verse where he's rapping, he said, I found out in Miami, now we all got to raise one. Or we got another one or something like that. And people don't realize that that's a nod to Khaled, that he found out that he had a son while he was sitting with Khaled and Assad.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't think he hit the kid.
I don't think he hit the kid.
Because let's look at it this way. If he found out in March that it really was his, why are we talking about it in October?
I mean, he don't owe the girl.
Yeah. Right.
People overlooking that he don't know her.
He said, I met her twice.
Yeah.
He said, the first time I met her, we fucked. The second time I met her with my son.
I mean, if we're,
It's a very bad decision.
I think that I don't think there's anything wrong with like how he handled the situation, but when it came out, you have to address it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't not do.
I mean, in his defense, he did though, because let's look at it. He got dissed in May, and he turned around and talked about it in June.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Nah, he did it. I think he did it right.
Especially if those bars weren't on the album to begin with.
Right.
Like if you added those things,
you could definitely tell how recent the album was done just off of Hove's verse.
Whole verse. Yeah. Whole straight game.
That shit finished last week.
Wow, bro.
If that.
Hove came in with the last verse of the album.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a question for y'all though.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the music, and I think I figured this out when y'all was talking about the double CD. I agree, because it's like if you can't take a CD out and separate it being on the same page, it just makes it the same experience. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is. It's the same. You're not gonna like. It's not the same. When you take a CD out, you be like, okay, there's the second CD.
Right.
And now you into the second CD. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that double CDs now kind of hurt from.
Yeah.
But then too, do y'all think that Drake's production to me is lacking?
Yes.
Like for instance, like he's not stretching out his like production anymore. Like when I listen to a beat like King's Dead, you want to hear Drake on something like that you don't normally get to hear him on. So is Drake producers, are they stuck now making Drake music?
I think that Drake is stuck in the area.
Think about that.
Feels comfortable.
He's stuck. They're stuck making Drake music. They're making Drake music.
Well, if you look at it, if you really look at the
What's that song that sounds just like "Thank Me Now"? It's a joint on here that sounds just like "Thank Me Now."
Well, that was actually the one. That was the one thing I was going to give you. You're talking about the Rihanna and the island sounds. I actually thought that the fact this didn't have that. Every time I heard like an island sound song from Drake for like those 2 years, I'd be like kind of like wince a little bit.
but it was fire.
It was fire, but it was also like, what is this? It just felt like him. Yeah. Yeah. But the island song, so I felt good that they didn't have another like Caribbean-esque.
I feel
thing.
like
But when you look at
let me say this to Ryan's question. I think that while he didn't expand his while he didn't take a bunch of risks on this album, I think he has traditionally taken risks and been able to adapt his flow to various beats and sounds and things of that nature. Like the idea that he could have this fire ass verse on Versace way back when, and then also do all the island joints, as well as hop on Lil Baby's Yes Indeed, that is a wide range of sounds, and he's been able to make all of those hits. So I think this album lacks some of that experimentation, but I feel like in general Drake's career doesn't.
I give you that.
But you know what's crazy though is I don't even want to say that his producers are pigeonholed into making stuff for him, because I just looked up the producer list and none of these are his traditional producers. Number one, I didn't know Survival had No ID on it. But then when I look at Emotionless and I see it had No ID on it, then I'm like, that's why it was so fucking fire.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused why Summer Games was so fucking trash. No ID was on that too.
Exactly.
And we didn't have 3 out of No ID beats. We only picked one time.
Exactly. And that's saying a lot. Well, he had 4 beats because he had nonstop too.
Okay.
But yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while we're in this, we mentioned someone else who was into this Drake shit. Unless you had one more thought you wanted to
Nah,
drop.
you good, bro.
Okay, and we mentioned this. There's a lot of other music that came out while we've been gone.
Right.
One of which is this double album from the Carters. Mm-hmm. Everything Is Love. Jamal hates it.
Hate is a very strong word.
He hates it.
I do not hate.
I love it.
Anything by Hove, the great one.
I love it. I think it's flawless. Okay, I don't think it's flawless, but I think it's great. I think it fits into the 5 best albums this year. Would you agree or no?
Probably.
Cricket. Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, I would put it probably at my number 3.
I think it's unfair. It's similar to the way people don't give Here I Stand credit because it came right after
Confessions.
It's a similar thing. This is not as good as 444.
Or not as good as Lemonade.
Not as good as Lemonade. It's not as good as Solange's joint. It's just it's just not gonna be that.
Were you disappointed to not hear Solange on here at all?
It didn't bother me. I didn't expect for there to be features, really, if I'm being honest.
And then we were lucky enough to get the Pharrell feature.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting any features because it's them, and they sort of do things like that.
Fair
That
enough.
said, the funny thing about Jay-Z and especially Beyonce is their ability to make things epic regardless. Ape Shit is fine.
It is.
It's fine. I'm okay with it. But the video and what that does to push rap and I don't know, just black music forward, the sort of epicness of it can't be understated.
I think Ape Shit served a purpose. Ape Shit was here literally just to make stadiums ring off. Because it's we know that it's cool now, just us listening to it in our everyday life. But if we listen to it Jake's funny. But if we listen to it when we kind of tipsy, halfway drunk, in the middle of Soldier Field,
Yeah.
if that's the start of the show, that shit's gonna go fucking wild.
Yeah.
And that was the purpose of it.
And I mean, that's the thing about Beyonce too, though. Beyonce could have got up there and did her songs on Coachella and it'd have been fine. But she had that full dance break, like, that went up and kind of got memes to death and all of that. Like, I mean, that's the sort of thing that makes her a showwoman.
Exactly.
I guess. One of those.
Fair enough.
Either way, I think that I'm always happy to have a project from Jay, like, under any circumstance.
You're talking to somebody who loves Kingdom Come.
I think people give I think people go
Kingdom
too
Come
hard
gets
on Kingdom
unnecessary
Come,
hate.
man. It does get unnecessary hate.
It's
It's kind
not
of like
peak
if I gotta
Jay,
pick
but-
an album to hate on from Jay-Z, y'all, let me just go to town on this.
It's not peak Jay, but it's still great. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Fine. Like, it's not.
I like it a lot. But with that said, let's keep it moving. Something that Jamal and I disagree on is the quality of Tiana Taylor's album,
Which
Jamal likes, and I think it's awful.
Here's the thing. Tiana Taylor, I don't think Tiana Taylor is a particularly gifted vocalist, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible.
No, you don't.
I do. I don't think she is a particularly, talented vocalist. But I think the combination of her and Kanye and the brevity of the album and, I mean, it's just, I just don't feel like there's a lot of traditional R&B albums, and I think this falls in that realm and does so pretty well.
Do you think who's better? Do you think Tiana Taylor's better at singing than Iman is at playing basketball?
Yes.
You think
In fact,
so?
I do.
I think they're almost the same in that
But
regard.
now I'm giving it to Tiana.
I think they're a good
Because-
couple for that reason.
I'm giving it to Tiana because Tiana gave me an album that I love.
They're both like
Iman Shumpert has
Iman Shumpert in 2K is like a 72 shooting guard.
Yeah, I'd say 69.
Yeah, he's in there. I think Tiana Taylor's vocal abilities is at the same range.
She get like a cool 75.
Here's the thing. If we're talking about Tiana Taylor's vocal abilities versus her her entirety as an artist, then her vocal abilities, I definitely go with Iman's basketball skills.
Oh, we'll go that's not fair though. You got to all right. So Iman's dribbling abilities versus Tiana Taylor's just singing abilities.
Because he dribbles like a kangaroo, bro. Sorry.
All right.
As you can clearly see, guys, I have not shit for Tiana Taylor.
I think so. Even if you're not a huge fan of the whole album, there's, I think, 3 to 4 songs on here that you've got to love. 2 through 5.
Nope.
Are
Fuck
great.
that Issues and Hurry.
Issues is cold. Hurry is cold. I think Kanye actually did a pretty good job on his verse, unlike his whole album. Everything else. Exactly. There's a great stretch in this album, and the fact that it's only 8 songs, I feel like also helps. If she tried to stretch this out, I don't know, but the fact that it's 8 songs. The best thing from good music this year is definitely
Pusha T. Without a doubt.
By a lot. But Tiana Taylor is second for sure.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, she's second. That's not saying a lot for the rest of the other shit that came out, but niggas don't even talk about Nas' album.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Where we headed to next, Jamal?
It's unfortunate. I think the other thing that we have to discuss is LeBron James becoming a free agent.
Yes. As you guys can see, I am in my Joe Fresh Goods All-Star shirt from this year, the Don't Be Mad in Los Angeles. This is me trying to convince myself that I can't be mad that LeBron is a Laker, but it probably won't help. But LeBron's going, yo. He's out of there.
He could still stay in Cleveland. That could still happen.
He's not.
Here's the thing. Walk with me on this.
Okay.
The Spurs are in control of this situation.
They really are.
Spurs are in control of this situation. If you're Greg Popovich and the Spurs organization, you'd much rather meet LeBron and Kawhi and Paul George in the finals than the Western Conference Finals. So, if you're the problem is Cleveland's assets. They don't really have much to trade with. But I feel like
And
if you do a
bad
three-way
contracts are what they do
trade,
that.
I feel like if you do a three-way trade, the Spurs are much more comfortable with sending his ass to Cleveland than they are with sending him to LA.
I agree.
Because you send him to L.A., the Spurs and everybody else in the West got to deal with them in the Western Conference rather than in the finals.
So then the issue that you deal with by doing that is what could the Spurs get back from Cleveland?
I have no idea.
The
That's what the argument falls apart.
I feel like
I have no
anything
idea. DeAndre Jordan is on the board, though, which is helpful. DeAndre Jordan is on the board.
I feel like anything they would get back from Cleveland would have to be centered around Kevin Love. And Colin Sexton. So with that said, if you're taking Kevin Love to add in Kawhi Leonard, you're still putting yourself almost in the same hole because you don't still have enough to beat the Warriors.
Cleveland dead.
Yeah, you don't.
So the best bet that you can do is that hope that you're able to hold on to Love and build a package of everybody else but LeBron.
But you're still, even if you make is the temptation to get Lonzo Ball and his dad and Kyle Kuzma or Brandon Ingram enough to ship Kawhi to your Western Conference rival?
If I'm Pop and I know Kawhi does not want to be here and he has no intention on coming back, I'm getting something in return opposed to letting him just walk next year.
Yeah.
So with that said, I'm going to look at them and say, give me Josh Hart, give me Kyle Kuzma, give me Brandon Ingram, and throw me a first and a second, and you can have them.
That's a hell of a trade.
We talking about the top 3 player in the league. You want them that bad to get LeBron to come here too? Give me all that shit.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Y'all can have Lonzo. I don't want that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Give me Josh Hart, who I feel like has a great upside. You're giving me Ingram, who's showing he could be a star. Give me Kuzma, who balled last year.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram's the one.
Buy Kawhi. So then you're adding that core 3 already to the Patty Mills, to LaMarcus Aldridge, to the aging Gasol, Ginobili Parker, who's going to teach them. Yeah. You still got Dejounte Murray, so you're making Josh Hart the backup point guard that he's destined to be.
It's just there's really no other path.
And then that team is going to grow with them.
For the Spurs to feel good about the trade, there's really no other way to do it.
And that team is going to grow with them to end up being the team for Becky Hammond.
The Celtics is the other thing.
But the Celtics don't want to part ways with Tatum and or Brown.
I can't imagine that the Celtics just ship Kyrie out of there based on the success that they had this year.
I really feel like the Celtics shouldn't do shit.
Kyrie
don't do anything.
Kyrie gonna leave.
Kyrie is going to leave. Yeah, Kyrie's out of
Kyrie ain't shit, man. Don't let that I'm Wonder Boy, Kobe bullshit. Kyrie ain't shit, man.
He's going to
New York or Brooklyn. He's going to Brooklyn.
Yeah, Kyrie is the fuck
Because next year Brooklyn can have two max players.
Yep.
He's going to be the face of Brooklyn. Come on, man.
He came to him and they asked him, like, would you sign an extension? And he said no. He said, I don't want an extension. I want to be a free agent.
But also, he still got to play this year.
But the extension that they were going to give him would have been
LeBron leaves the East, right, and goes West. It's a clear path for the Celtics to the finals.
But then if he leaves the Celtics and he goes to the Knicks or the Nets and they build around him with stars, it's still a clear path to the finals.
I mean, that's true, but you still going – I mean, they're not going to –
That kid is 24.
They're not gonna sit.
He's
Terry
24,
Rozier.
man.
Like sit Kyrie for Terry Rozier.
I mean, I get that still.
So I feel like if they make it to the finals, he's not gonna just bounce after going to the finals.
Shit, New York is a strong ass possibility, bro.
I don't know.
That nigga asked to be traded after going to the finals 2 times in a row.
True,
with the best player in the world.
Uncertainties surrounding LeBron.
What you mean? LeBron was there last year. LeBron beat them this year. What you mean? We knew he was going to the finals again.
I'm just saying though. I feel like it's a special circumstance and. The idea that the Celtics had some sort of infrastructure.
You asked to be traded this year.
With that said, Boston is in a tough spot because everything.
Boston's in a great spot. What you mean?
No, they're in a tough spot. I'm gonna tell you why. Because everything that they have been building for can explode next year. Simply in the sense of they stockpiled all these draft picks, drafted amazing, but that draft pick well has now run dry.
Okay.
They don't have any of the top draft picks anymore.
Right.
All their shit is back at the end of the draft and late second round. So with that said, let's say this year they turn around. You got that core that took LeBron to 7 games this year. You add in Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. Mm-hmm. Let's say they win the East.
Right.
If LeBron is gone.
Right.
And they win the East. They come back the next year, and let's say Kyrie does book it the fuck out of there.
Uh-huh.
and he goes to New York.
I don't know where this like him leaving is coming from. By the way,
he straight up said it.
He said he wasn't. He said he wasn't going to sign an extension.
He said he's not committing.
Different than like that's just to get your money. Like,
but you gonna get your money
to keep
though.
Yourself valuable. Like,
but I'm saying no. The thing is,
I'm good.
No, but the thing is,
front office doesn't have to work.
But Jamal, if he signed that extension, no other team could offer him more money.
Supermax.
It was a Supermax.
Right.
So what if you go anywhere else? He's taking less money.
But because the thing is, though, I don't think that's how players work now. Like the idea is, I'm gonna keep the front office honest. I need y'all to know that if y'all fuck up or y'all don't play me or y'all like, ship off some of our assets, I will bounce.
Okay.
And that's like the LeBron fact. That's the LeBron effect. Like he signs 2-year deals or whatever so that the front office has to keep working.
So my thing is,
that's the point.
So my thing is with that, they're also running short on what they have to work with. Literally at this point, you can't draft anymore. You can't sign anymore because you're at the cap limit.
Right.
So you literally would have to trade off, let's say a Brown or a Tatum just to get more talent.
But do they need more talent?
No, I'm saying they don't. They don't.
Okay.
So let's say they turn around next year, right?
Right.
That core, Hayward, Brown, Tatum, Irving, Horford, Marcus Morris, they get to the finals. Let's say they play the Warriors.
Right.
We ain't gonna put no stock on where LeBron is. Let's say they play the Warriors.
Right.
They get ran in 5 games.
Right.
Then you turn around.
It's 5 games.
It's 5 games. Maybe 6.
Like maybe 6.
You turn around next year, and then he's a free agent after this year. And you're looking at him and you're saying, we couldn't beat them this year. Let's go do it again. Let's try it again. What are you adding? You can't add shit because you can't afford to. And then if you trade it off, there's nothing on the market that'll be available to come in and push you over that hump.
But the thing is, though, if
you could have said this like 4 years ago about the Celtics, though, and then they made a bunch of moves, got all those picks, and then like you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
the Celtics
you're going real far into.
They gutted themselves. They found a sucker in Brooklyn to take an old ass Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, I don't know why.
They found a sucker that was so determined to beat the Heat. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was.
They got Darren Williams, and then they had and Joe Johnson, and they said, "Oh, we got the framework that can maybe beat the Heat. Let's go get these 2 legends that gave the Heat hell."
This geriatric team.
They were just so hell bent on winning 1 ring, just one.
Yeah,
that they fucked themselves.
But I just don't know if for Kyrie it's advantageous to take yourself out of that situation. Like,
so
okay, sure, maybe you gotta trade Brown, maybe you gotta trade Terry Rozier, but the core that you have, like the starting 5 of Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, Jason Tatum,
and Jaylen Brown's the 5th, right?
Yeah, like that's.
But hold on,
that's tough.
To your point, though, bring Marcus Smart back.
But to your point, though, they're in a position to where they don't have to go get anybody because arguably their second and third best player, some would say their first and second best player, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, are 20 and 21. So their following year to be 21 and 22.
So my next question,
22, 20, like eventually they're getting better.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
You have to hope that.
There we go.
And they're also on rookie contracts.
Okay, so what happens when they're getting better? They haven't won yet, or they do win, and the contracts is up, and they demanding the max.
Okay, well, this is what's going to happen. They're going to be restricted free agents. Al Horford not going to make the money that he making now. Al Horford make a shit ton of money. So once you free up cap space with Al Horford shit, like I said, you're going to have your max with Kyrie, and you're going to have to max Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
But Hayward got a max, too.
Hayward not going to have a max no more. They not going.
We looking at what?
I'm saying this. No, I'm saying this.
See how Hayward come back
in 3 years, at that time, by 3 years, Jaylen Brown rookie contract should be up to where it's like, I don't think Gordon Hayward is going to have the output to deserve the supermax.
Here's the thing.
Because of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown taking the shots away.
But he got that max that came out of last year when they was just throwing bags.
Right, but I'm just saying his shit gonna go down.
That's the thing. When we get to a certain, I think a year, 2 years down the road, you're looking to like get rid of Gordon Hayward or Jason Tatum, like because they play the same position. Somebody's gonna need the max.
You're looking to get rid of Gordon Hayward.
Tatum has the bigger upside because he's younger. So I feel like at a certain point, if Jason Tatum is your leading scorer in the Eastern Conference Finals this year, like get Gordon Hayward the hell up out
I'm gonna be honest.
He gonna play a lot.
You trading Gordon Hayward if he can show he can play by the trade deadline. You getting him the fuck out of here. I'm gonna be honest.
Just bounce. Like
he not because you know why? Because he's not finna check KD like that, and he's not finna give KD 30.
So the quote from Kyrie was they asked him about signing the extension. and he said it just doesn't make any sense. And so a guy from Heat Hoops explained that if this ever shows up, so if Kyrie opted into the extension, his total will be $104 million. That'll be his contract through 2023. If he opted out from the Celtics and then re-signed, it's $108 million through 2023. If he says fuck the Celtics and walks, he's looking at $187 million.
Yeah. I never got the impression that Kyrie was about the money as much as the team being his. But then, I think it'll say a whole lot more if Kyrie is not getting the touches he wants, or if people are saying like, yo, get the ball to Jason Tatum, spread it around, play more like the Celtics played after your ass got hurt. That, to me, would send him off quicker than the extra.
And you know 100% that's what's finna happen, and his ass gonna be like, I'm cool, I wanna go dribble, I'm gone.
And I'm gonna go over here to New York.
And now I'm the
star. Get this bag. I'm a movie star.
I'm a movie star in New York, and all I really gotta do is just be cold for like until my 30s.
Yeah.
He could be Chris Paul, what Chris Paul was to the Clippers in Brooklyn. They get another max player.
But do you think he wants to go backwards like that though? Like,
how's that going backwards?
My thought has always been he wants to follow Kobe's lead. So he got to the finals several times off of LeBron's back, or at least as the second option, similar to Kobe. And now he went to the Celtics hoping to be the guy on that team, and he was. He was like in the MVP conversation.
Well, I think it's all perspective though, because like I don't know if it's stepping back. It's like he was just saying, yo, he's a movie star. He's gonna be in New York. He'll have his own team. Whoa. Like low key, he kind of put himself in a situation where like he doesn't really have to do that much for the next 10 years.
If we be real honest,
I mean, I always felt like, again, my thought is he's following Kobe's lead, and Kobe is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like he measures his accomplishments.
And the rest of us real niggas say 1, 2.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. But
all right, so I got a question. What is it left for Kyrie to accomplish?
Nothing.
Lead his team.
No.
Lead a team to the finals and win.
Kyrie don't play. He don't play that kind of basketball.
I think he could. I think that could totally happen in Boston.
He's not going to do it.
He has one of the best coaches in the league. He's got a young core.
You just said it though.
Not just a great core, but a young core.
But you said it though. He not the number one option. It's clear as night and day that Jason Tatum is the number one option. He got the mismatch every time down.
I don't think Jason Tatum is the number one option as much as the Celtics play good team ball. Like, I feel like it's more so the fact that Kyrie likes to play the same way my boy James Harden plays in Houston. Like, that's the team he wants, and he may not be able to get that. But I think he also could be mature enough to do something different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So my next question for you.
We ain't even talked about LeBron.
What else is there to say?
Hollywood. Yeah.
What else is there to say?
Okay, so wait. Out of all of you, if you had to force, of the free agents, if you had to pick for one to go somewhere, where would you want them to go and why?
Like LeBron and all of them?
Anybody.
I want Cousins to stay in New Orleans.
Why?
I want Cousins to stay in New Orleans because that's the only mismatch to the Warriors.
Okay.
If they could get better and add a piece, like if somebody was just like, I really want to play basketball, I really want to win.
It's like, let me not have Drew Holiday be my.
I want to give you two.
No, you keep Drew Holiday.
No. I'm not saying get rid of him.
You need somebody to replace Rondo.
No, I want to give you two because I'm gonna tell you what they needed to beat the Warriors this year.
Who?
They needed a better three. Because they were relying on Drew Holiday.
But Cousins didn't play. Right.
No. They were relying on Drew Holiday to stick Kevin Durant.
Right.
What I want for them to do is I want them to do a sign and trade with DeMarcus, send him to Washington, and take Otto Porter.
I think you're giving Otto Porter way too much.
No. The reason why I'm saying this, build a package around Otto Porter and maybe another player or two, bring him in, put him at the 3 spot, just to at least contest shit from Durant. Their 3 this year was Solomon Hill.
Right.
That's not shit.
No, I feel you.
I'm putting him there. I'm bolstering up their bench because their bench is terrible. Take another piece or two from Washington.
But you getting rid of Cousins to bring in Otto Porter and
I'm gonna give you another reason why as well. Because with him and AD together, yes, they're great. But we saw AD by himself where he was able to go insane as the lone big man.
AD is nuts, yeah.
When Cousins went down, AD averaged 40 and 15.
But
they got better.
When AD went down, they also stayed in their place, and Cousins averaged like 30 and 15 too, bro.
I get that, but which would you
like
rather
Cousins
have?
was? Man, this is what I'm saying though. It's not like a game of which would rather have against the Warriors. Is how many niggas can we have on our squad, bro?
But then
you get down like
just
think about it,
mismatch.
because like think about it. No, you straight because like think about it. When they go to the death lineup, right? People would say, "Oh, well, you gonna draw Cousins out." In the same token, them layups after a while, that's fouls on Durant. That's pushing. That's the only way that you could get around him. Ain't nothing that you could do to stop him from having 40. He's not gonna have 70.
Yeah.
He's gonna have 40 or 50. But then them other niggas, Jrue Holiday up there, Rondo up there playing D, they could play D.
Yeah.
But now you have an advantage which nobody in the league has against the Warriors.
The thing is, I think you have to. I think when you're talking about the Warriors, they are so dominant at what they do that you have to come up with a different sort of strategy. Like the only team, and I mean, I say this being from Houston, but the only team that really gave them a run were the Rockets. Pushed them to 7 games and were up in the second half and didn't have Chris Paul. And they have a different game strategy. Like,
so I'm gonna argue with that
because you can't just, if you play them straight up, you're not gonna beat them. And so it's like, all right, let's try this 2 big man shit and like pound their ass inside and hope for the best.
So what I'm gonna put in there with that is the Pelican series, even though it was 4-1, it wasn't as much of a blowout as people wanted to see.
Oh yeah. No,
what it really came down to, the Pelicans was fucking them up,
and that's why I wouldn't get rid of Rondo. Because
Rondo was a
playoff
savage with them,
and he know how to ball.
Yeah, I say you keep Rondo until he retires, and you draft a point guard to make him a new Rondo.
Right.
Like you draft a fierce point guard who's pass first and make him the new Rondo. Once Rondo is really over the hill.
Yeah.
But with that said, it was the same thing. So when you watch the Cavs and the Warriors, right? So with the Cavs and the Warriors, when the Warriors were ready to win, it wasn't always that Kevin Durant took off. One day Clay would take off, one day Steph would take off.
Yeah.
With the Pelicans, it was specifically they had everybody else on lock but Durant. So when it was time to win, Durant was just spraying up niggas because their tallest defender was 6'3".
See, here's my thing though. If I'm the Pelicans and it's crunch time, I'm putting
If
I'm the Pelicans,
be careful. It's like a hornet or a wasp. I don't know, but Dad killed his ass.
Nah, that motherfucker's still alive.
Oh, use the book, man. Use the book. Quit using your foot. Jake ran out the door.
Jake wasn't gonna tell us shit.
Jake ran. No, I was watching it the whole time. I didn't want to interrupt y'all.
No, I was watching Ryan.
I'm watching it. I was watching it.
Your dad is still alive.
I got you. As soon as if you would have made that right, I had you. I was like,
it's still alive. With that said,
he did though.
With that said, if
it's crunch time, I'm putting AD on Kevin Durant. Personally.
That's fair. So wait, we got that. So you said you want Boogie to go back to New Orleans.
I want Boogie to go back to New Orleans.
Okay. So what other one would you? What other pick would you like?
I'm hoping that. What would really be fun for me is if LeBron went to the Celtics and Kyrie got traded. That's what I want to see, if I'm being honest. Like you drop LeBron into this young core and shit.
Okay.
And then they win like the next 3 titles.
Oh, and then Kyrie
like,
couldn't do it.
Shrug over in, I don't know, back in Cleveland or wherever the hell. Like
that
to me would be really fun to watch. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I think, like, in my opinion, that's the situation that LeBron wants because he's still in the East. He's still the guy on that team. The team is young, and they have some playoff experience. I feel like they've shown that they can, like, play on that level. So I feel like that would be the best situation for LeBron.
So I got a few off-season wishes.
I just don't know if they're going to do that, though.
Off-season wishes. I want Aaron Gordon to go to the Suns.
Okay.
So they can have...
So you a Devin Booker believer.
Wait, hold on. How can he go to the Suns? He unrestricted?
He's a free agent.
He's unrestricted?
He's restricted.
So how are you going to get there?
I don't think the Magic are going to match it.
So you're saying the Magic finna definitely 100,000% tank. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Because they're just
who did they draft? They drafted Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
That's all they got. It's Mo Bamba, Aaron Gordon. That's worth mentioning.
They draft somebody else. Did they draft Mo Bamba?
Yeah.
Right. So they have nothing.
They have nothing.
So I'm getting Aaron Gordon the fuck out of there. Because at this point, he's not working there.
But so you gotta sign somebody else though.
I agree. But I want him to go to Phoenix. And I want to align him next to Ayton. And Booker. And who's their point guard again?
Elfrid Payton.
Elfrid Payton. And I also want to put Josh Jackson.
And Marquise Chris.
And they got Marquise Chris. Yikes. I want to build a young group of talent over there.
Yikes.
They give them 2-3 years.
That's nasty. I put them over Portland almost.
Yeah.
Damn near.
I want to put that over there.
No disrespect to Dame in there.
Something else
they was the 3 seed. They was the 3 seed. That was kind of disrespectful.
On some home shit, I don't want the Bulls to overpay for Zach LaVine. If niggas is throwing Zach LaVine to max, let that motherfucker walk.
I think you tripping. I'll tell you why.
Let him walk.
Zach LaVine in the East is going to be about as good as DeMar DeRozan is. He's going to be a good player that you can add somebody to. Like you said, you get a superstar to come here to be the one guy, and now you got a bona fide two.
Yeah, he's nothing more than a 3 to me, man.
He's like, I wouldn't want to rely on that guy.
Yeah, like, if we wanted to have a good swing, man, and we could have a number 2, we shouldn't have got rid of Jimmy.
Do we still got Cameron Payne on the team?
Sadly, we do.
God, that guy is
in addition, who else do I not want to, who else I want to have? That's just the first ones I got right now. But
I would like to see Kawhi go to Philly.
I want Kawhi and LeBron to go to Philly.
Impossible.
So my issue with the Philly thing is, if you're Philly, you're not going to trade Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons and LeBron are the same person.
But like, the thing is, LeBron wants to play off ball.
Yeah, LeBron said he want to play off the ball.
He don't want to be ball handler anymore. He's been saying it like all through the season. He said he want to play off ball now.
I want to play. He said I want to play off the ball.
So if you're playing off the ball with a Ben Simmons,
that's the only way he can win. And that's my point too. Unpopular opinion: the Celtics, in reality, everybody's like guaranteeing them this success moving forward. The East is trash.
The East is trash.
The East is trash. The East is young. Because Antetokounmpo's not a star yet like that. He can't really force pressure on the Eastern Conference Finals. New York doesn't have a team putting pressure. Miami not putting pressure on it. You know what I'm saying? The Raptors was the only in the Celtics, right? The Cavs sucked. They just had LeBron.
Yeah.
And they pushed them to 7. That's not saying that much considering they got swept.
Exactly.
You know I'm saying, in the fucking finals. So it's kind of like
they should have won a game though.
It's a thing to where it's like, I think the Raptors going to take a step back. I think Philly's going to take a step forward. I don't know what the Bucks are going to do. I don't know what Miami's going to do. Washington should at least stabilize to be like a 3 seed because they'll be healthy all year at least. John Wall didn't play. They traded Gortat, so they're going to have to change the team. You know what I'm saying?
Remember when we thought that Toronto was like actually turning over a new league?
Nobody thought that.
I did.
Nobody thought that, Jamal.
I wasn't rolling.
Come on, man.
Y'all didn't think they
it's still the same niggas, man.
Y'all didn't think they pushed it to 6?
No. For what? Why would I think that?
I called a tweet from the
What in history made me think that was possible?
Thought that?
No.
No, man. The baby raptors, man. Jurassic Park.
The baby dinosaurs, bro.
Barneys, man.
LeBronto.
Yeah. I'm upset, you know.
Another one I want y'all to look out for. I think the Pacers are going to make a big move.
Pacers are going to take a step forward.
Yeah.
I think the Pacers are going to add
Side note,
core.
this is what I want. I want Lance Stevenson to play on whatever team LeBron's on. That's what I want.
I want Lance Stevenson there.
I would love
You know
that.
who else I want there? I want J.J. Redick or whatever team LeBron is on.
That's real, too. JJ got to take that pay cut and come get this ring. God damn it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
But with that said, another one that I want to happen, I want Jabari Parker to be on the Jazz.
Wow, because he's a Mormon?
Nah, but they kind of helped out. But Derek Favors is a free agent. Derek Favors is a free agent. But imagine putting a good scoring 4 next to Gobert. With Donovan Mitchell as the star.
That's real.
Are we sure that Jabari Parker's a like solid 4?
When he's healthy?
Yeah, when he's healthy, he have 20.
When was the last time he was healthy though?
End of the season.
I mean,
He barely was healthy. Simeon.
Right.
We ain't like it's the same thing with Gordon Hayward. Like we just got to see him come back first. Like
Right.
Now I'm gonna throw some random questions at you guys now. Since we only got like a little bit left, so we're gonna just end on sports.
That'll work.
I'm gonna throw some questions at you guys. If the Lakers do happen to get LeBron, Kawhi, and Paul George, is enough? Can you build around them to beat the Warriors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that said, if that's the three right there, LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George.
I'm still very like iffy on Paul George too, though.
But without the pressure,
Paul George, he can play
right.
some defense on KD.
Yeah.
But with that said, so you got them three. Let's say if that is the three still, right? Do you guys believe in? Would you guys, if the GM, if you're Magic in LA and you got those three, do you offer Dwight Howard a contract for the veterans minimum?
Yeah.
With that said, do you think the Warriors, as currently constructed, offer Dwight Howard the veterans minimum?
No.
No.
I think they do.
I think they do only on some like
He just slows the action.
Hype
like,
shit.
You got a big man. What you need him for? Like
Do they have a
JaVale
big
McGee
man?
is a big man who's like runs the floor, isn't gonna ask for
Right.
much. Will
DH
ride the shit
runs
out of
the
the
floor,
bench,
bro.
Like
Yeah, that's the thing. I think DH will be a behavior thing.
that's why I would want
Yeah.
him.
With that said, all right, next question. If you are the Hornets, what do you do with Kemba Walker?
Trade him.
Where do you trade him to?
No idea. Whoever got the best deal.
I trade him to the Spurs.
Spurs for what?
I don't know, but that's where I
when
want
is
him to end up
when is he a free agent?
next season.
Next season.
But that's where I want him to end up because if you really look at it, if you really want to be honest, the only thing that separates Kemba Walker, Michael Conley, and Dame Lillard is a good basketball team around.
That's bullshit. Dame Lillard runs circle around both of them. Dame Lillard is way better than them in basketball.
Dame Lillard is a step above Kemba Walker to me. Kemba Walker, yeah.
But then we ain't gonna act like it's a mile between
I'm not gonna say
them.
it's a
I'm
mile.
not saying it's a mile, but he's a lot better than both of them in basketball.
Number 3
I put
seed
it like
in the
this.
West. Number
If I'm
3 seed in the
going-
West.
If I'm going to the playoffs, what that number 3 seed do when they get to the
Hey,
playoffs?
what did Kemba do this play? He wasn't in the playoffs.
I
so.
get that, but I'm saying, like, look at the team around Portland and the team around the Hornets. But with that said,
I feel what you're saying, though. I feel your sentiment, though.
They
That
got-
in a different
they got
situation,
Nurkic.
Kemba Walker could have been successful and took a team to the deep in the playoffs. I do agree with
Yeah.
that. I do agree with what you're saying.
yeah, I agree that the Dame is better, but if you take Kemba off the Blazers,
If you put Kemba on the Blazers, they
They
fuck
gonna
around,
still
could
be
do
a
the same
playoff
thing.
team.
I agree with that. I do
Yeah.
agree with that.
But with that said,
I don't know if
I'm going
Dame
to
is
the
good
playoffs.
enough.
If I had to pick one of them three to be my point guard, I'm taking Michael Conley.
Yes, I agree. Because he's the most smart. He's the smartest
He's
one.
the smartest player. I'm taking Michael Conley.
I still like smart point
I
guards
don't know
personally.
if I'm biting on that, but
I don't want.
I agree that's a tougher conversation.
I want.
I don't think Dame Lillard isn't a smart guy. I just think he's
No.
always had to be a scorer.
Yeah.
We don't know what
And he-
his like.
And he not a
shooting
proven
abilities
30
are.
though. He not a proven 30. Mike Conley a proven damn near 10 assists for sure.
Yeah,
So
definitely will get you.
if I had to
10
pick which one I want in the playoffs, I'm picking Mike Conley. Mike Conley pressed up on the Warriors when they was coming up. They
did.
just got hurt. People forget that, but the Grizzlies was pressing up on them. They just never, after that point when they peaked, they just peaked out right there.
But Dame
nobody
Lillard-
anticipated them
But if you
peaking.
go with Mike Conley, you're assuming that you got people who will get you a bucket. Dame Lillard will get you a bucket when you need one.
Mike Conley give you 20.
He'll give you 20, but he can't go get like Dame Lillard. Minute left, put the ball in his hands, watch him go score.
I think you
Mike
say,
Conley doesn't have
I
that.
think you can say the same thing. He just always been a person. He could shoot and shit. He just always been a person to run the show.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
He has.
Damian Lillard
but-
a little bigger than him. You know how it is. Like, you an NBA size point guard. Between me and you, they let you shoot more than me. They just would. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, my next question for you. What's the max per year that you give Marcus Smart if you're Boston? Because he's a free agent too.
I don't know.
Hey man, look, Marcus.
Do you let him
Smart-
walk?
Marcus Smart.
I don't want him to.
I want to keep you, but if you asking for a bunch of money, we got the Morris twin over here. Like, you
I would.
And we still got Rozier.
like.
If I let him walk, I'm trying to sign Lance at that position. Same kind of guy,
Same-
gritty.
same
guy.
I
general
think
idea.
in a team, I think Lance would be good.
Lance is a little more like,
And he got-
he'll take some bad shots a little more often than Marcus Smart.
100%. But he got playoff experience. He tough. He want to beat LeBron real bad. You know what I'm saying? For real, that's what they need on the team.
That's like actually a metric on your stat sheet. Like, how bad do you want to beat LeBron?
But niggas was like that with Kobe. That's why niggas like Mike Barnes.
Yeah.
That's why niggas Roger Bell, because they
My
was
next
like they wasn't scared of Kobe.
If you're Cleveland, this is a two-part question. If you're Cleveland and LeBron leaves, number one, do you keep Kevin Love? Number two, If you don't keep Kevin Love, do you blow the whole thing up?
Blow it up.
Zion 2019? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about this year.
I know, but if we blow it up, we're going for Zion.
I'm saying blow it up and keep like the young cats who didn't do nothing this year but could reasonably have an upside. Like I feel like you hold on to you know what I'm saying? What the hell is the guy's name? Forgot his name.
Colin Sexton?
Nah, dude from Mizzou.
Oh, Jordan Clarkson?
Jordan Clarkson.
You hold on to Jordan Clarkson. You know, you hold on to those like role players that didn't really do anything this year.
All right.
Because they're young and there's no guarantee that they're like, there's no guarantee that they can't get better. They can't become those guys.
Switching to Dallas, we were talking about it earlier. They're going to have a young core of Luka, Dennis Smith, and then you throw in DeAndre Jordan, who's just going there. We know it.
Yeah.
Do you believe in Harrison Barnes?
No. You just had to spend money. Same place Orlando going to be.
Or do you try to move him?
Move him for what?
He got a max.
I keep him because
Harrison Barnes got a max.
Remember when he left because he left the Warriors, and that's what I'm saying. Orlando, if they get rid of Aaron Gordon, that put them in a position, they're gonna have to give somebody the max. Remember the Lakers gave Mozgov all that money. You have to spend the money. So it's like, damn, do you really you could keep Aaron Gordon, potentially trade him and like later. But do you want to get stuck with somebody who you know not good in a bad contract? Aaron Gordon not a bad contract right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's like, why would they trade him for real?
Yo, last year was crazy. Like, contracts last year were wild.
But Dallas is in a position where they need a wing. Really, not like a 4. If they're going to get DeAndre Jordan, they need a 3 or a 4.
But we still don't know if DeAndre Jordan can catch the ball in the post and do anything with it. Like,
so my next question.
I like Barnes, though. I like Barnes for their team, though.
Before we run out of time, if you are the Warriors now, you just have your framework of the 4 stars. What do you build around them with? Because JaVale is gone. They basically gave a list of niggas they were getting rid of during the parade.
Okay.
Yeah, during the parade, they gave a list of niggas they were getting rid of. They're getting rid of David West. They're getting rid of Nick Young. They're getting rid of JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
What do you Kevon Looney is a free agent. So that basically Zaza's gone. So that leaves them with the Hamptons 5.
Right.
Quinn Cook, Patrick McCaw. What do you go get?
I mean, veterans.
What does it matter?
And Livingston.
And Livingston, you good. That's 8.
You know
8 strong.
You don't even need, like, all you need is that 7-man rotation.
No, in real life,
anybody.
In real life, if they got the money and if you would come for cheaper, you try to get Trevor Ariza because Andre Iguodala's body is just failing. He's gonna be on the D-Wade plan. Like, he's not gonna play hella minutes for real. You know what I'm saying? So somebody like that, you know.
You got to get somebody that, like, doesn't need the ball, will play great defense, runs the floor, and is, like, solid.
What do the Knicks do? You know, I'm a fake Knicks fan. What do the Knicks do? Knicks is like my only team for real that I consistently have rooted for like a long time. Like, do they play Porzingis this year?
No.
Who did they draft? Kevin Knox?
Yeah, Kevin Knox, which I was not a fan of at all.
Fuck, man, that should have been Michael Porter.
Yeah, I was like, why did they draft Kevin Knox?
Because I don't get to see Michael Porter on TV, national TV, none.
They literally grabbed Kevin Knox just because he signed that Rock Nation and Puma shit. That's my theory.
That's real.
That's my entire theory.
I just feel like the Knicks ain't gonna be able to do nothing until James Dolan like keels over. So
James Dolan is in the process of selling the team.
Really? Yeah, he's selling.
That's big news.
My last one, going over to Minnesota, there has been some issues in the front office. Jamal Crawford said, "I'm not coming back," which can be believed because it's Tibbs.
How y'all
he didn't play.
Jamal Crawford? Like,
Cat and Jimmy both are disagreeing with Andrew Wiggins.
They fucked up.
What do you do? Me, I fire Tibbs, and I move Andrew Wiggins.
How, bro? He signed that.
He signed that max.
So yeah, you trade him to Orlando.
But what do you get back?
Right.
Nothing. Like
trade.
I think you gotta try. I think you gotta try another coach. If that, like, somebody has to make that work. There's too much talent.
Can I tell some with
Mark Jackson?
Wolves? Yes.
You throw the bag at Mark Jackson.
Why. And you know why? They play too fucking slow.
They play too slow.
Every possession was a half-court offense play. Mm-hmm. If you got Jeff Teague, Jimmy on one wing, Wiggins on the other, and Cat who will run the floor, why the fuck are y'all setting up half-court sets every rip?
Yeah, dog, I can't think of any good reason for that.
Man, he not being fluid, maybe in his coaching style. I don't know. Maybe they not following the game plan. Maybe they can't follow the game plan. I don't know, because he had a proven game plan. But Big Cat, the issue is Big Cat don't play no fucking defense. So no matter how hard you coach defense, if the middle is still wide open, no matter what, he fucks. In the NBA.
I also feel like Andrew Wiggins hasn't come along quite the way people thought he would. Like, he's fine.
He's a gun. Yeah. That's it.
He's a very poor man's Kobe. But with that said, we're going to wrap up there. I just want to ruin you guys' day by letting you know that Harrison Barnes is getting paid $25 million per the next couple of seasons. With that said,
that's what happens when you play for the Warriors.
Yeah, this was a 3-piece on Mild Sauce Radio with some intersection from the backcourts.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan. And we're here for some good basketball
quick
talk.
Quick assist.
By the time we come back, LeBron will be a Laker.
Woo!
I'll be trying to figure out how I'm going to be a fan of this bullshit.
Go Clippers.
With that said, thank you.